All right, so do you see the full screen where it says wood glazed facade and net zero and passive building?
Yes, you are good to go.
All right. Okay, let's start it. You'll see that this product that I'm going to present uh, today fits very well with the theme of the day, hospitality buildings. Wood glazed facade, net zero and passive building. I'm Luc Paquette, sales representative for Unicel Architectural for a bit over 10 years. Unicel Architectural has been in the building envelope market since 1964, and we've accompanied architects, designers, building owners, promoters uh, uh, to create some of the most inspiring building ideas. I passed by a nice picture of our one of our recent realization. It's coming up in a week or so. The Grand Prix Formula One. If you guys have the opportunity to see a great hospitality pavilion, this is the paddock. The paddock of the Grand Prix Formula One is really one of exception, and it was constructed in record time. So putting apart the old paddocks and rebuilding a new state-of-the-art um, paddock stands for the fans. It was amazing. So Unicel, for a quick presentation, is now celebrating its 59 year in operation. We're a Canadian-based company based out of the Montreal area, the greater Montreal area, to and we are well. First of all, Unicel comes from two French words that means sealed units. So we're in the glazing business. Unicel, unité scellée. So the company put down their core values on black on white, ingenuity, excellence, collective intelligence, respect, and commitment. I call it collective synergy, delivering value to clients and attracting value people and keeping them in the company. The company works in three, well, as you can see on the screen, three major um, building um, markets. We have specialty glazing solutions. We have the Vision Control as our star product, being seen all around North America, mainly in healthcare markets for obvious reason, because it's a sealed unit with a blinding solution, a louvered and integrated adjustable louver inside a sealed unit. And this has been awarded the best healthcare privacy solution available on the market. Today I'm going to present about the timber curtain wall, a very elegant and performant system also. And we also maneuver in the aluminum skylight curtain wall system, as you've seen on the Grand Prix Formula One. We've done the skylights, the curtain wall, the handrails, and so forth. So without further ado, wood glazed facade in net zero in passive buildings. So you'll understand this system better at the end of the presentation. It gives you guys AIA, CEU credits and US GBC, GBCI credits as well. So the course description. Architects and lead professionals understand the numerous benefits of building with wood, but many are unaware of its application in a timber curtain wall. You'll see a lot in the presentation, TCW. It's an acronym for timber curtain wall. Today's technology provides opportunities to incorporate the beauty and energy efficiency of wood into glazed facade that not only bring the outdoors in, but also serve as the building's heavy lifter. Sorry, I'm putting S is where I shouldn't. This course will present the differences between a conventional curtain wall and a timber curtain wall, including load-bearing and non-load-bearing capabilities, as well as net zero and passive building. We'll also show examples of projects using the timber curtain wall. The learning objectives we'll see a brief overview of timber curtain wall and its process. We'll highlight the system components, the features, and the structural capabilities of such a product. We'll understand the environmental and health benefit of using wood glazing a timber curtain wall, including net zero passive house building design. We'll describe the modular manufacturing process, fabrication, transportation, and installation of wood glazed facade, and some project highlights that have been realized. All the pictures that you're seeing on the screen are projects that we've accomplished, that we've realized over the years. First of all, let's do a bit of history about the timber curtain wall. Timber curtain wall systems were developed in Europe in the middle to late 1990s for energy efficiency, but it was an easy transition because they were already using the laminated scantlings to produce the wood window profiles from CNC machining, and the demand for larger and larger glazed openings led to exterior glazed facade. So a timber curtain wall is glazed from the exterior versus a window. So the larger you want the system to be, the window system to be, the harder it becomes when you want to glaze it from inside. So we want bigger glass, bigger facades, so it's easier to glaze it from the exterior. Later on, it was introduced in the United Kingdom in 1998 and saw its introduction in early 2000s in North America. For our little history, 2007 is when Unicel Architectural started to be present with the timber curtain wall in North America. So timber curtain wall makes its presence in North America 20 years ago. It really is a success because wood, unlike aluminum or steel, provide natural insulating benefits. So you've got a better comfort and temperature control while you get this very elegant product for your glazed facade. Where do we sit in the chain of process for the timber curtain wall? We sit right in the middle as a designer and manufacturer. We partner with a German company called RAICO, R-A-I-C-O. They develop glass facade systems. They're highly recognized specialists for sophisticated building envelopes. And here, as designer and manufacturer, Unicel is responsible for the performance of the timber profile, the sizing and engineering for the perfect fit, project fit. We provide anchors, we are responsible for the structural performance and all of the detailing of specifics, methods, and applications. And therefore, we're linked quite closely with the glazing contractors, providing assistance on a job site with all the documentation and installation guides, and also on-site training, as I said earlier, for this pre-assembled timber glazed system. So let's see the components, the features, and structural capabilities of timber curtain wall system. As you can see on the screen, this is a beautiful hospitality pavilion in a Quebec City outdoor leisure activity pavilion. Timber curtain wall components. Very easily you see we have a system that captures the glass onto a wood mullion. The wood mullion is basically a glulam system to which it's a structural frame to which we attach a glazing system. The wood mullion is made of glulam, as I said. It has different width, and we're responsible for the dimensioning of this mullion for different loads of environmental loads and others, onto which we have the base profile made out of aluminum that really has expansion possibilities, because aluminum and wood doesn't react the same way under heat or cold. And then we do have a mullion gasket. As you can see, this gasket is very, very important because it creates a very nice barrier, heat barrier for the system, and moisture barrier as well, because you put the glass very far from the wood mullion. It's a wraparound system, and the gaskets are overlapping where they meet. You'll see later on how they mesh together. As you can see, there are different levels. I'll try to show with the laser pointer here. There's one level here and the second level. So you'll see there's different drainage level to this wraparound gasket. And then we've got the glazing. The system can accommodate from 6 millimeter, half an inch, up to 64 millimeter, 2.5 inch of glazing in a standard application, a standard curtain wall application. This can be used with the drainage that we were going to explain a little throughout the presentation, the drainage benefits. We can do skylights down to 2-degree angle. So the glazing can be therefore a little thicker if we're using them in a slope application. But in standard application, which is the curtain wall, it's up to 64 millimeter triple glazing to get better energy performance. And then we got the other gaskets, pressure plates, and beauty cap. But the one thing that differentiates this system from any other on the market is the insulation block that we see in the cavity between the glazing. This helps lowering the thermal transfer, the thermal convection inside the cavity. All right, so let's go back to number one, wood mullion glulam. We have different species that we can use for different reasons, for different grade, for different look and design for the system. A bit more information about the drainage. I told you about the different levels of drainage. As you can see, there are different levels in the wraparound gasket. So they are cut precisely to be overlapping one another. So if water would penetrate the system, it will be therefore directed towards the vertical mullion with a pressure equalized system, much like a skylight system, a very sophisticated skylight system. So we have three drainage levels, because sometimes we have different components inside the curtain wall, transoms, complicated angles. This system also, keep in mind, the overlapping of the gasket makes it so advanced that it doesn't need any liquid sealant to provide a weather protection, water infiltration. So there's no, we use simply a little foam that is installed underneath the overlapping gasket, and only by pressure we get weather tightness. So this is an example of the gasket overlapping one another. Just below, you've got the hidden connector. The hidden connectors is a very nice feature because you don't see any connections, any mechanical connections for the system. So the horizontal mullion slides in behind, from inside the building towards the edge, and it's fastened together with screw nails. That's what we call in our jargon. Glulam mullions. We use glulam for this system for its graded as a graded material. We receive the glulam mullions very minimally finished for a timber frame type of finish. So we take the unfinished glulam mullions, we seal all the imperfection, we sand down this wood piece to a furniture-like finish, and then we apply either stain or directly clear varnish onto the glulam to create the desired look. We do use different wood species for different design options. We look in Quebec. There's locally grown black spruce that is used often in our project. From the West Coast, we do have Douglas fir, BC fir. We also work with species that are less knotty, like white oak, white ash, or southern yellow pine, which is available in the U.S. Good example of a nice projects we've done in white oak. This is a rich, natural, very nice looking species. There's not that many wood nuts in the finish. This is another example of what we can do as long as the longest mullions that we can manufacture is are 46 feet long. We could do longer, but we wouldn't be able to deliver it on a job site because the trailers do not accommodate longer material. It's a very versatile product. We can use the same type of glass capturing system onto steel and aluminum as well. But the greenest, the most the best system for to promote natural beauty of a curtain wall is wood, and that's where we specialize in. As you can see on the picture, we also have the possibility of using silicone structural finish without any pressure plate and cap. So this system, I'm not going to go into deep in the thermal transfer, conduction, convection, and radiation, because this system is, well, without going too deep, this system is up to 72% more energy efficient than a conventional aluminum curtain wall. This is a very ultra high performance curtain wall system. Usually we see manufacturers say series such and such HP. We do not have these numbers or digits or nomenclature names to our system because it's certified passive house. The thermal conduction is managed with very high quality weatherproof gasket and isolation foam. Convection, well, the convection in the cavity between the glazing is negligible because we use an isolation foam. And radiation is controlled with insulating glass unit with warm edge spacer, low emissivity low E coating, sorry, and different gas like argon. Note on the screen that in normal condition, the isothermal line will be within the glaze spacer area. So condensation or moisture never touch the carpentry. For best results, this system can accommodate up to 64 millimeter. So to reach passive house values, we need 40 millimeter triple glazing. Let's talk about structural capabilities. Conventional curtain wall is non-load bearing, but it supports its own weight, auxiliary components, wind loads, and environmental forces. Timber curtain wall using a back member made out of glulam can be load bearing. It's a frame material, so it supports all the load of a standard curtain wall, but also the weight of the roof or upper floors. Another example of a load-bearing facade, 8 meter high or 30 feet high. So there's no duplication of structure. It's a clean design thanks to the load-bearing mullions. And overall, you've got savings for the total cost of the building envelope. You get better square footage, and also you do not have a structure that sits behind the curtain wall. The system can accommodate operables such as windows, doors, aluminum doors, wood doors, as long as they can be inserted in the timber curtain wall way, into a curtain wall way. So in that case, it's a hospitality pavilion in the Canada Park in Quebec, where we have a load-bearing system. These hospitality pavilions have a lot of people coming in and out, so there's high circulation. So we can use heavy-duty doors, normally with curtain wall subframes for the best results. And notice also there's for fresh air, some operables were inserted in the curtain wall as well. Unicel Architectural manufactures a lift and slide door, the same species as the wood used on the project. As you notice, it's we see the different shade of wood, but it's only a shading. The shading that it's the same yellow pine used on this project. So now using wood has health and environmental benefit. So wood is one of the oldest and most versatile building material used by humanity. It also has a large part to play in the future of healthy commercial buildings and residences. The use of wood, we talk a lot about biophilia, but wood and nature and natural views have been proven to provide benefits to human disposition. The feeling of natural warmth and comfort that wood brings to people has the effect of lowering blood pressure and heart rates. It reduces stress and anxiety. It increases positive interaction. And it is also improving corporate image, therefore improving morale, boosting productivity, and favorably helping in learning and education. Well, studies have showed that average North American spends only 6% of their time outdoors. We live inside houses, work inside offices. Now today I'm inside a hotel room on the West Coast. We even drive from home to work inside cars, often park inside garage, never even stepping outside during our commute. So using a product such as a timber curtain wall in a project design can favorably help to bring the outside in, and with bringing in the natural light and natural beauty of wood that such a system elicits. You've probably noticed that there's a building momentum of mass timber. Wood as a building material is the benefits are varied and widespread. One of the benefits is that it lowers carbon footprint. Wood requires less energy to extract, process, and transport. We do not need to melt material to make wood. Wood grows. As a matter of fact, we use green hydroelectricity to manufacture our timber curtain wall system. It's high performance. Wood, especially mass timber and other types of wood-related materials, are lightweight, but yet incredibly strong and versatile. It's easy to work with and have excellent load-bearing capacity. Better thermal efficiency. The cellular structure of wood, which includes many very small air pockets, is tailor-made for thermal efficiency. It's 400 times better than steel, 10 times better than concrete at resisting heat. It also requires a lot less insulation than other materials. And for acoustics, sound doesn't travel through a hollow piece of material in between the floors. Carbon storage. Wood, trees intakes carbon dioxide, carbon sequestration. It releases oxygen through photosynthesis. So storing that carbon in the wood indefinitely when used in construction. Wood in construction essentially becomes a carbon storage vehicle. Or carbon sinks, encouragement of carbon sink. Our wood is FSC certified, Forest Stewardship Council. So coming from selective harvesting. So when you use wood from a well-maintained forest, a well-maintained forest usually is considered a carbon sink. It removes more carbon from the atmosphere than it emits. Recycling and reuse. Well, forest product, wood product can be more easily recycled, reused, and recovered for energy than most other building materials. Net zero buildings. How this system can contribute. Net zero building is a building with net zero energy consumption, meaning that the amount of energy used by the building on an annual basis is roughly equal to the amount of renewable energy created on site or nearby. The zero net energy consumption principle is viewed as a means to reduce carbon emissions and reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Although zero energy buildings remain uncommon, even in our developed countries, they are gaining importance and popularity. We've been involved in a few projects that are a net zero, and we'll see them coming being more and more present. What is this, a passive house certified component? First of all, passive house has 5 principal: continuous insulation, continuous airtight, vapor-tight barrier layers, controlled ventilation, solar gain and loss through design, and high performance windows and doors. That's where we sit. Passive house comes, well, kind of a German passive house. It's a rigorous standard for energy efficiency in a building. Again, reduces the building's ecological footprint. It's really ultra low energy for cooling and heating. A good representation of this principle as how those 5 principles react for a passive house. You've got the orientation, so the design of the orientation of the building. The fenestration is high performance. We've got superior insulation, superior air tightness and water tightness, and we use high quality heating and air exchange systems. Why is this important to designers, architects, promoters, and building owners? Is because as much as 33% of the energy produced in North America is used to heat, cool, and maintain buildings. So on the right is the total energy cost of a standard building, and the energy cost combined with the additional capital cost need to obtain a passive house. The savings are quite significant. But how much does it cost? In our area up north in Canada, an initial investment to get to passive house is about 10 to 15% higher than a conventional house. This is mostly the reason behind it is because it's the additional planning required at the design and stage and realization of construction, but the higher the higher quality of materials also in order to get to a passive house building. Passive house are buildings that exceed all energy efficiency standard and allow substantial savings on the operating cost. Again, the passive house buildings are quite rare, but the passive house owners are generally attracted by the exceptional comfort provided by passive construction, and by the quality of the indoor air, and by the quality of the construction and materials which grant superior longevity to the building. How do we qualify to be a certified passive house component? Mainly, as you can see on your left-hand side, it's because there's very low thermal transmittance, an R value of equal or superior to 7, a U value in imperial numbers at 0.14 BTU per hour square foot Fahrenheit. So very elegant product, very performant product. That brings us to our first poll question, Kelly.
Great. Here we go. Would you consider using a timber curtain wall in future architectural projects? And your options are: we do not specify building envelope products. Yes, now that we know it's available. Yes, we already specify this type of curtain wall, or no. Good, I see those answers coming in. Thank you, everyone. And we have about 10 more seconds on that. As a reminder, we do use this to check your attendance, so it's always a good idea to answer them throughout the day when you see them pop up on your screen. All right. Let's see what we got here. 85% said yes, now that we know it's available.
That's amazing. Great. I like those numbers. So I'll be busy. All right. So thank you very much for the votes and your attendance as well. I know it's past noon for most of the attendance, so this presentation is not a very long presentation. So you'll see. Now we'll tackle the manufacturing and installation. Unicel is a multidisciplinary team of architectural engineer and technicians who will accompany you technically, and we can design assist uh, uh, for your projects. So by all means, contact us and we'll help you specifying this beautiful product in your projects. This is a very nice ski hill chalet that was renovated in the Blue Mountains up up north of Ontario. So manufacturing a wood glazed facade, I touched a bit about the hidden connectors. We fabricate these to be so elegant, so you don't see any mechanical parts showing. It makes this very elegant. It all starts with power tools and custom guides, very not unlike any wood shops. As you can see, it's fairly easy to router and install the connectors. Then it's all put together with the base profile, the gasketing, the anchors, the membranes. I'll talk about the membrane system as well. We ship the system as modules. Some the glaziers in the industry refer that to ladders because it looks like ladder, two vertical elements with horizontal mullions being pre-assembled. So we prefabricate the timber curtain wall modules in a factory. The factory is controlled, and it's less costly to that compared to on the job site installation or fabrication. Those ladders, it's a stick system, but we prefabricate them into modules. They come with the anchors and the perimeter membranes to make sure that it it joins perfectly the rest of the building, insulating an tightness of the system. The insulating glass unit, the IGUs, are installed on site. Everything is factory finish to a furniture level, and it assured factory control conditions for superior quality and overall a lower cost and installation time. In the factory, we can do some very complex modules by prefabricating them. Notice on the right picture on the far right, you'll see at the bottom of this module, you see there's the anchor system. There's an anchor, and as you go further up, you'll see the connectors for the horizontal mullions, and also the black area is the gasket. And if you can see in the bottom left of this modules, you see the membranes overlapping, but this system will join the rest of the building membrane. Here's another example of the complex modules being prefabricated with all the connectors, the anchors, the membrane being installed on the job site. This is a load-bearing system, modular installation with glulam building timber frame being installed as one of the last modules of the timber curtain wall is being lowered. Again, everything is pre-assembled except from the glazing and the pressure plates and caps. I mentioned earlier that this system is a dry system, so we can glaze it in very harsh conditions, such as the picture on the screen. The end result is phenomenal. It's beautiful timber, load-bearing timber curtain wall system, eliminating the structure behind. As you can see, the load-bearing system starts with shop drawings, installation procedures. Everything is well documented. We can install those timber curtain wall in different ways, fixed to slabs, between slabs, and combination. Our documentation will show the anchoring to the building. As a matter of fact, if you go on our website, you'll see our master drawing documents showing a lot of examples. This is available in CAD, and it's upon request with the Revit family. Another example of an anchor to the building. This is a non-load bearing facade and the top connections. And where do we excel is with the load bearing system. We love doing those because it really proves the system feasibility and superior quality. Now let's tackle some project highlights. We do have another 10 minutes to go, maybe 7 or 8 minutes to go before questioning. What we see here is the first net zero building being featured there. This is a building in Montreal. I'm going to talk about the New York Welcome Center in Hill Island, New York. It's a beautiful hospitality pavilion just south of the border in a beautiful Thousand Island area. If you travel from Syracuse to Canada towards, let's say, Kingston, there's a welcome center right there. That's a system that's been installed in 2019, constructed in 2019. It's a 3,000 plus square foot gable curtain wall system. It's I like how the glass is all the size of the glass. It's really performant. When we have this kind of grid, we can talk about this further later. As you can see, there are the horizontal mullions and the vertical mullions are the same width but different depth. So it's a glue lam Douglas fir sourced from the West Coast. The architect is Stantec for this project. For passive house, we can use the timber curtain wall for very, very large facade. So it's very elegant. It matches well the interior finish of this building. We also provided a lift and slide door for this project. I do recommend that you go on our website and consult our case studies. This is a beautiful architectural project. Jérôme Engelking is the architect. It's called the Wooer House. Every component of this building is certified passive house, but there's a lot of glazed facade, silicone structural installation, lift and slide door. It promotes a lot of natural light and natural views. Everything is so aesthetically pleasing. and the curtain wall mullion are used to support the roof structure. You've probably seen this project before. It was featured in New York Times and Arch Daily as well. And it's won the Chicago Athenaeum 2020 American Award for this architectural beauty. A few years back, there was a horrible railway disaster in Quebec, in Lac Mégantic. Most of the city was rebuilt, and one of the tourism office was rebuilt using a timber curtain wall in front of a timber frame structure. This is a 3-story high timber curtain wall. And it matches very well the look and the aesthetically pleasing wood structure. We recognize there black spruce, very light and very nice looking wood elements. A lot of hospitality pavilions, such as a Chalet du Plateau in Quebec City, promoting natural views, large glazed facade for natural lighting inside the meeting area. The first net zero building in Montreal uses the 56 millimeter wide system because we use different width for different load applications. So this is a 5,000 square foot building spread over 2 floors. It's designed to minimize its energy needs. It's inspired by some approaches, ecological approaches such as Passive House and Living Building Challenge. It revolves around a high-performance thermal envelope, as well as the use of geothermal energy and heat recovery. You see in behind, you've got a frame for solar panels, which will provide to fill the low remaining energy need for the building. So black spruce, locally grown to Quebec species, was used in this system, in this curtain wall, using a triple glazing with 2 low emissivity coating to provide better performance, passive house performance. This project in the foothills of the Mont Saint-Anne in Beaupré, Quebec, is a load-bearing system with aluminum capping on the exterior, 8 meter high, about 30 feet high load-bearing system. It uses a Therm Plus 76 millimeter width system for vertical mullions and 56 millimeter wide horizontal mullions. As you can see, we can mix and match different width, different depth to a glazed facade. We can use different systems together. This project in North Bay, Paris Sound District Health Unit, features a curved facade. The vertical mullions are Douglas fir, very beautiful vertical mullions, but we also used curved aluminum profiles on the horizontal elements. Aluminum is easier to curve and also cheaper, and it blends well. It disappears in the design of the building. From the interior, that's how it looks. Very beautiful rich grain wood. The last project I'm presenting to you is the Osler Ski Bluff chalet. Exterior wood caps were used for this system, so we can have the glass can be captured with a pressure plate and aluminum cap or wood capping system. So Kelly, let's go with the second poll question before we go to the questions. Yes.
Having learned more about this product, what would you need more information on to convince your customer of its advantages? Would that be pricing, structural capabilities, its use in different climates, or benefits over traditional curtain walls? Let us know what you're thinking. Good, more than halfway over on this. 10 more seconds to get to your device and register a response. I see we got more answers coming in. Thank you guys. A little bit more time on that. All right. Okay, so 54% of our respondents said they would like to know more about pricing. Then the rest were kind of tied between 16 to 14%.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I knew that pricing was something that we would need to touch. This is as I said earlier, this is a system that can be load bearing. There's nothing to compare with any type of glazed facade system. Wood is elegant, it requires less insulation. It's an ultra high performance system, so it is better than any other type of glaze system available, comparable, I mean. And yes, it is a bit, there's a premium to get to a system that performant. It's about 20% more. So, and we see this number being realistic because a lot more glaziers are interested in the product. They were a little bit skeptical in the beginning, but now they're coming after us to provide them an opportunity to work with it because it's word spreads very well. This system is well manufactured. It's well prepared for installation. Everything is pre-assembled, the anchors, the connectors, and the perimeter membranes. So there's no guesswork for them. It's really, they can go quickly in installation and it works perfectly because there's a very low tolerance with this system. You cannot use attach a glaze system to a timber frame without having very low tolerances in a system that is dry, such as this one. So Unicel timber curtain wall provides seamless integration of timber and in vertical facades and in slope glass roofs. Keep that in mind. This system can be combined to in an atrium area. This system is very nice for podium areas in your high-rises projects. Everything in hospitality market will be interested in using this type of product, especially in the natural environment. So thank you very much for your time. Please contact me. You'll get my contact information with the documentation that the ATS provides, and put as many questions on the chat as possible. But I'm now ready to answer the questions right now, if there are any.
There are a couple. Do you mind, Luke, if I send those to you just for
Yes, I
time?
know we're running late. Yes, you're right.
Oh,
I'll tackle them in the next few days if you don't mind.
no, that's great. And not your fault at all. I started you off late. Thank you so much, Luke, for this presentation, and I will get you those questions. Everybody hold tight. Luke will get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ATS. Again, it's a pleasure being here. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.